Good morning. Today's application is that God promotes us to reveal himself to others, and in the process, revealing himself to us. So please brag on God and not ourselves. That's Daniel 2:28. Let me preface this by making it clear that promotion in this sense refers to spiritual. Not that God doesn't promote us in a worldly sense to minister to others, but this writing refers specifically to the spiritual. God has also promoted me financially at one time in my life, but that's not the focus today. Today's focus is promotion, and I'm particularly talking about spiritual promotion. The first time I went to Paris, France, I walked into a Bible study one week and was asked to lead or co-lead the second week. I co-led the study for about a month, even if it was that long, and then I ended up leading the study alone. The promotion humbled me because I knew that I was in a position that made me feel less than qualified. I had fled the States in hopes of that organized criminals would not be able to follow me. These criminals had done everything to destroy me because I stood up against nursing home abuse and corruption. I cost them a lot of money and deficiencies. I did not know at the time that the nursing home was connected to an organized criminals in some type of a way. So they retaliated against me and they took over my computer and they would hinder me from reporting what I should have been able to report about what they were doing and what I had discovered. I even tried getting a lawyer, but when I realized that I was talking to them instead of who I thought I had called, I knew that this was not just a typical case. Either way, they followed me to Paris or they were already there or had people there. I really couldn't tell which it was. They would eventually cause me to lose all that I had in storage, and I kind of felt like I was a prisoner at some times in my daughter's flat in Paris. By the time I went to Paris, France, I had been so traumatized that confusion and discouragement had set in. Why would God let these people move against me when my actions were so unselfish in going to Arkansas to care for my older sister who had suffered a massive stroke? Why would God choose me to do a Bible study at a time like this? Surely there were many other people more qualified and certainly in a better position. God undoubtedly saw things different than I did. I ended up doing this Bible study in Paris for a little over a year. Never have I ministered with such Holy Spirit and fire within me. I ministered from my soul with such compassion, with such passion. Even I could not believe it. I was living under the shadow of not even having enough money to do anything and not even really enough money to eat. To make matters worse, the criminals were even more bold in France than they had been in the States. Yet once a week on a Sunday afternoon, I encouraged the hearts of Bible study attendees. People seemed to flock to the Bible study to see the American woman who was on fire for the Lord, as one of the attendees referred to me. I was so broken at the time. In my state, God was using me. I could only give the credit to God. I mean, sure, the words were coming out of my mouth, but God was undoubtedly orchestrating the words. Inside, I felt like I was falling apart, like I was not going to make it. This was certainly a time in my life when God was carrying me. It was only the strength of the Lord that gave me the unspeakable joy in the midst of feeling like I was not going to make it. The peace of God that passes all understanding had become my bedfellow. I had no one to turn to but God. People thought that I was distressed and this was not really happening to me. I really didn't blame them. It was surreal, even to me. If I were them, probably wouldn't believe me either. But it was nonetheless happening to me, and I still, to this day, cannot fathom it. Yet God was using me in a way that shocked me. I was declaring the words of the Lord emphatically, and people were responding. God was not only revealing himself to others, he was revealing himself to me. I never felt closer to God than I did then. God became my sanity, and I learned to accept what God allows, and I let him use me where he had planted me. God doesn't need our strength, we need his. At some point, we all have to come to the end of ourselves so God can do only what he can do. It is only when we get out of God's way and rely on his works and on his power instead of our own that we can truly reveal God to others and in the process to ourselves, or allow God to reveal himself to us. In case you missed it, this is me bragging on God. This is me bragging on how God saved my life. Until next time, have an amazing day.